Hey kids, welcome back to Worth the Spin. Alright, here's time number like 50 to try to do this video showing you what Beatle singles I have in my collection. What? Why is it so difficult? You know, that's a good question. Been mulling that over for a few days, a week, two. I don't know. Difficult. Some things in life are harder than they should be. So, like, telling my phone, hey, Google, do a selfie video of me. And it actually arguing with me as to why it cannot do that, when it worked perfectly fine for the longest time. Interesting. Things in life are harder than they should be sometimes. Well, let's move on, and let's take a look at these Beatles singles I have in my collection for you. Alright, so we're up to part whatever here on this Beatles albums that's in my collection. So we're running out of Beatles albums. I have the solo stuff left, and that's it. So if you guys want to see the solo stuff I have, I'll do that. Otherwise, I think next video we'll move on to something else. Not to have anything against the Beatles, but I'm not as creative as some people. I can't find 20 million reasons in a week to make a new video on the Beatles. So they're awesome. Their music's awesome. I've showed you what I have other than my solo stuff. We've talked about how incredible they are. We can do an album by album review. We can look at my solo material I have. We can watch me tap dance in about 2 years when I learn to tap dance. Or we could talk about something else. Lots of records we can talk about. Anyway, I do have an idea for another video. Might tick off some local record dealers, but since most of them are kind of crappy, I'm not too worried about it. But in all fairness, should have better shops too. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know where we're going here, but we've gone way off the track, down a dirt road, through some trees, into the river, and we have no traction whatsoever. So to straighten that out, let's, at number 51, try to look at these Beatles singles again. Alright, we're going to start off with Swan, and this is the Beatles, She Loves You, and I believe this to be a first pressing somewhat, some September 16th, 1963. The back covers on all these American ones are the same as the front cover, so we're going to shave a little time off our record and not look at the flip sides because they're the same. Alrighty, so here's pretty much a near mint copy of, it is mint I guess, of She Loves You, and it does have the Don't Drop Out there in the corner, which I'm told is kind of hard to find those with that. Flip side's I'll Get You, and that is your flip side. Alright. I think it's the only Swan one that I have. We're going to put these back as we do it because otherwise we're going to have 45s rolling all around the room in here. Next up, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and I Saw Her Standing There. This is the one that made him a pop hit in America from December 26, 1963, and this is the second pressing. This is I Want to Hold Your Hand, and this is I Saw Her Standing There. This is pretty close to mint. I think this was a jukebox one at one time or something because it has a number 15 and a dead wax somebody wrote in there. And tried to clean that off a couple times and it hasn't come off, so I don't know what they used to do that. I think I have a couple more that have that in there too, so I must have gotten from the same dealer. Here's Tully, however how you say it, Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You. And this is a repress from 64, 65, somewhere in that area. It's the yellow label one, and looks like this, guys. And no, I don't remember what version of Love Me Do this is because I've not listened to this in particular single in probably a year. I do like to try to make it a habit of at least once a year, maybe twice, going through all my singles. So when I get asked by my wife, you buy all these, do you really listen to these? Nobody listens to singles. I do, once a year, sometimes twice. So, haha, there you go. Alrighty, A Hard Day's Night, and I Should Have Known Better. And this I believe to be a first pressing too from July of 64. And this is pretty much a mint copy. And there's your B-side. Alright, this video is going some shockingly well at the moment. Why has it been so hard? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Alright, and I Love Her, and If I Fell, and this is also a first pressing from July of 64. Again, the back sides are the same, so I'm not going to bother showing you the back sides of the covers because they're the same as what the fronts are. It just seemed to flip the song. So whatever is the supposed A side or lead single, it's in a bigger bold, so I put it there. And then, so if you flip this over, If I Fell is now the dominant one. So I'm not sure what they did with that there, but maybe it's trying to get people to buy two of the same single, or, you know, Beatles had a lot of A-sides and stuff, so maybe that's a part of it too. They didn't know what to make an A-side on here. All right, so here's Matchbox and Slow Down, and this is from August 24th of 64. This is also, I believe, to be a first pressing. And I say I believe to be because I've looked these up in the dead wax, and they tell me they are, and then some people will come and say it's not. So Discogs is not your friend, in my opinion. Not a fan of Discogs. I use it to catalog my stuff, so when I go somewhere, I try not to buy the same stuff, unless there's a reason to buy the same stuff. But Discogs is very problematic, in my opinion, for numerous reasons. All right, this one here, this is I Feel Fine and She's a Woman. This in particular person looks like Tony, says they got this single on December 12th of 64, around 8:45 p.m. Tony, you're up late past your bedtime. I say this single came out November 23rd, 1964. And I say that's because that's what Discogs told me. And some Beatles sites I was on. So, She's a Woman. And this one, here's another one that has a 15 written in it. I think the other one was 14, so we might have a trend going on here. And I Feel Fine. And I Feel Fine was the dominant single there. Lead single. One played the most. Whatever. You pick, you choose. Have it your way. It's a commercial that says that. Alright, there's 8 days a week, and I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. And this is February 15th of 65. And the single's still on the rainbow. This is pretty good condition. It's got some stuff. I don't think you can see it. There you go. Don't know what it is, but it doesn't clean off. But it does not affect play. Does not skip, jump, or anything. So, I don't know. I've tried to clean it a couple times. Whatever that is won't come off. But it, like I said, it doesn't stick. It doesn't skip. So, it doesn't make weird sounds. So, I'm good with it. Help and I'm Down, and I love I'm Down. I think it's one of the best songs the Beatles ever did. It's July 19th of 65. And I believe this to be a first pressing. I believe it to be. Doesn't mean it is. Just means I believe it to be. I have the Spicer books too, and I look them up in the Spicer books more than I do like Discogs. And I'm not gonna lie, some of Spicer's stuff's a little problematic too when you try to look them up in there. Here's Yesterday Naturally, the song that was not a single in Britain. It's from September 13th of 65. And this one is fairly close to mint. This has a 25 on it. So I must have got some of these from the same person, whoever it is that I got them from. I don't remember. But, yeah. So either they numbered them in their collection like that for some reason, or they had a jukebox and those numbers correspond to what button you hit on the jukebox for it to play. Just guessing? I don't really know. We can work it out in Day Tripper. It looks like that. And it is pretty close to mint. This has a 4 on both sides, but a 15 in the dead wax. So yeah, I don't know. I think we've had 15 already, haven't we? So we've either had 2 people doing this, or the numbers mean something else other than what I think they meant. I just threw out jukebox. I have really no idea. Alrighty, No War Man, What Goes On. So the owner of this disc says that they bought it February 18th of 66. And I say it is a first pressing from February 15th of 66. Just looking, there's numbers on here again. So number 6, a scratch shot, put 11, yet there's 20 in a dead wax. I must have bought a bunch of these from the same person. And sometimes I don't notice this when I go to play it. I'll just play it and not notice it has goofy things on it. So I don't know what that means. Somebody had a real weird system. Though I have seen people on Facebook Marketplace selling like a lot of singles. There's a lot, you know. And they have a little sheet. And I have them all in an old style record box. And then they'll have a sheet there next to it that has all these numbers that tells you what song is in this song, what single has what songs on it in this box. So maybe that's the same kind of deal, I don't know. Paperback Rider and Rain, and I am saying this is the first pressing from May 30th of 66. And we have a 20 on here. I don't remember buying a bunch of Beatles singles at one time, so I must have got these from the same place, same store at different times. Kind of odd, isn't it? Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby. I say it's the first pressing. This is one of our first official double A side singles from August of 66. And we have a 32 on here, but a 20 also. So I don't know. Yeah, I have to wonder. I mean, that's kind of weird, isn't it? It's kind of weird to me. That's the Yellow Submarine side. It's kind of weird. I've seen these numbers on these before, obviously, but I just don't remember what they were. I don't think anybody's ever told me what they were that I bought them from. Here we have the first of two copies that I have of Penny Lane and sorry, I apologize. Strawberry Fields Forever. This one here has the wrong play time on it for Penny Lane's, listed at 3 minutes. Oh, there's the cover. Sorry about that. And it's a first pressing from February 13th of 66. Sorry, I was just looking on here. I thought I saw another weird number, but I don't see it. This has got some wear. This is kind of a rough copy. I've not seen any on rough copies of this in particular one. So I think this was pulled pretty quick so they could fix the time on the label. Because this version here has it as 2 minutes 57 seconds. Alrighty. And this is owned by JK. Thanks JK for messing up my single by putting your name all over it. And when I was younger, I never did it, but some people would do that because took records to parties and other people's houses and they get mixed up and there's the whole big, this is mine, no, it's mine, and you know, stuff of that nature. So that's kind of why that was done. This is my first, I'll get them here, first of two Hey Judes. This is the first press one that came out, which does not have producer credit on it. And this is when we started on the Beatles on Apple sleeves. So, and as you can see, it does not have a producer credit on there. That's your B-side. And then my next version does have it on there. Same thing, it's on the regular, the Beatles on Apple sleeve. And this one has the producer credit. And there's a flip side in case you don't believe me. It's there too. It's a joke. Alrighty. Moving along fairly well. Usually goes slower. Alright. Okay. Well, I've mixed up my singles. I guess in my other 50 attempts to do this, I have mixed things up. So I skipped All You Need Is Love and Baby You're a Rich Man, July 20th of 67, and it's first pressing 2. No weird numbers on here. Has some little like holes or something that started down there at the corner on the bottom of the side, whatever. I love Baby You're a Rich Man. I think it's one of the best Beatles songs. I guess it got mixed up in one of my other attempts to film this series. It hasn't been like 50 times, but man, I've done this video a lot and I've gone back and watched it and I'm like, wow, I have no idea what's going on there. Alright, then we're up to Hey Jude. We are not up to Hey Jude. Boy, I got these all mixed up. I must have been sleeping on the job, people. I Am No Worse and Hello Goodbye from November 27th of 67. And this is the cover. And this is the capital swirl. And BJ wanted to make sure I knew this was his record. Alright. I have no idea why I mixed them up. I think I got a little aggravated the last time, just kind of stuffed them back in there, and it might be why. Give me a second, just to make sure we'll pass up Hey Jude yet again. Oh, go back. And yeah, I got these like all mixed up. There's Lady Madonna and the Inner Light from March 18th of 68. And, Man, I got these all mixed up. This is pretty much a Mint 45. Love Mint 45s. I must have had a little hissy last time and just chucked them in there. So as we go along, let me straighten up. I apologize for that. Hey Jude yet again. All right, now we're back up to Capital. I'm sorry, Apple. Wow. I wonder why they're all mixed up. All right. Beatles on Apple sleeve, May 5th of 69. Believe it to be a first pressing. And we have Get Back. Followed by Don't Let Me Down, which is 24 and then a small 4 off to the side. Somebody says 24, foul 4. This guy had a very interesting fouling system. Seems like a lot of work. But you know what? He didn't write on the sleeve. So I don't know if I prefer writing on the label or the sleeve. I don't know. Probably none. And then it's a picture sleeve. Ballad of John and Yoko. June 4th of 69. First pressing, as you can tell, white sleeves just don't stay white over time. This is backed with Old Brown Shoe, by the way, in case I forgot to mention that. Probably did. There's no odd markings on this one. I must have got a bunch of these from same store. They're all like flip-flopped in here. I don't know what I'm doing, dudes. October 6th of 69, first pressing. Beatles on Apple. Somewhere and Come Together. There you go. Went to a place yesterday, and I say their name because I don't care. Half Price Books. Wow. I'll also use this word, rip off. Wow. Wow. So we're selling original master recording Beatles albums for anywhere from $200 to $350 a piece that people have traded in, and they pay pennies, literally pennies on the dollar for. If you ever dealt with them, you know that. But I'll get off my soapbox about it. But yeah, wow, pretty crazy stuff, man. I've not found a listing yet that shows any of those albums going for that kind of money, but you know, whatever. All right, for my birthday in 1970, we have Let It Be. So there's a cover for you. And You Know My Name, look up the number. There you go. And this is 15 on a dead wax. So this guy had a real weird numbering system. There's several of these that are number 15. So I obviously got them from the same place. Just weird. And the last single by the Beatles as a band, Long and Winding Road, backed with For You Blue, May 11th of 1970. And this is the first press, fourth variation of this cover. My understanding, there's 3 other covers with slight variations on this. I've not seen them. This is the only one I've ever come across. So I try to look for them if I go someplace and they have a bunch of them to see what the differences are. We don't have any goofy numbers on here. There's your A side, your B side, or your A side, your A side. Because with the Beatles, you never know. And let's be honest, all Beatles singles are A sides. I have not heard anything that would be considered to me to be a B side. Usually B sides are unwanted songs and something from the album. It's not going to get played much because the producer or the band has determined that it's okay. Alrighty, that's where we are, kids. I think we have, trying to remember, so yesterday, a few days ago, whatever, we did some EPs and some foreign. Oh, we did some foreign, didn't we? We did the foreign singles that I have. Okay, so these are still American, and these are just kind of oddball ones. This is the Beatles, 1962 through 1966. It has All My Loving, and You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And this was given away by a store called Musicland back in the 80s. And I'll show you the back. This is the back. It was advertising some other stuff. And this is the front. And it's a flexi picture disc. I've never played it. I don't know if the previous owner has. Usually these things play pretty bad. And they damage pretty easily. It doesn't look to have any damage whatsoever to it. So I guess they probably didn't play it more than once. I was tempted to. And I remember when I was a kid what a pain it was to play those kind of things. And I decided, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So here we have a first pressing of just checking. Got to Get You Into My Life, backed with Helter Skelter. And again, the back cover is the same as the front. So, and this is on the famous orange label, which is only the second orange label I have in my collection. I do need to work on getting those. And we have a numbered, I love that they numbered these 45s, Obladi Oblada, and backed with Julia. And that's, oh, there's the orange label one too. It's November 8, 76. And that's what that looks like. But it also looks like that. So switcheroo. And hey, Obladi Oblada spelled correctly. What do you know? And then we have, this is a repress thing. Came out after John passed. It has this cigarette blurred out that Paul was holding. So I'm guessing by 1984 we decided that it's not good to show people smoking. A little late, but hey, you know, the history of smoking. I guess waiting 100 years or whatever is a good time to wait to say that's not a good idea. Thought this had something in the runouts, but it don't. Is that sign? There's that sign. I thought there's a number there, but it's some kind of spot that wouldn't come off. Sometimes I get them and they have weird spots and it just don't come off. Alright, mono EP here. Baby It's You, I'll Follow Sun, Devil in Her Heart, and Boys. And this was released in March 20th of 1995. First pressing, around the time of Anthology. And that's evident by the label. This is the label they use for an anthology. And there's the other side of that. Alright, put that in there. And we're moving up to Free as a Bird. Again, another anthology released December 12th of 95. And this has a small little spindle hole. There you go. Voila, there you go. Just like that. It's magic. Anything that you could desire, something like that. It's an ELO, I believe. And I have a few of the Jukebox, official Jukebox 45s. This is one's from January. I think all these are pretty much January 24th of 96 when I looked into them, because they're just all like released together. And they're colored vinyl. That's Got to Get You Into My Life. And Helter Skelter. We saw those already. So these are kind of cool, and I'll buy them. I won't pay a lot for these kinds of things, but like $5-10 you can sucker me into it. Complete this thing. And here's another one. Around the same time, this is Nowhere Man and What Goes On. And it tells you right there on the corner, for jukeboxes only, which means you're not allowed to play this 45 at home on your turntable. You can only play this on a jukebox or it will not work, just so you know. Alright, and you've got to Hide Your Love Away. It's on orange vinyl again. And I've just seen a face. And just in case, I'm just joshing, you can't play these on your turntable at home. They just weren't supposed to be sold this way, so it says jukeboxes only. I was just joshing you fellers. And here we have Real Love, again, from around the time of Anthology. This is March of 96, I believe. And this has a number 5 in the dead wax, as you can see. So this must have came from the place that the others did. I guess somebody sold their entire collection. So yeah, I went to this half-price books and somebody must have sold off their entire collection. And yeah, they're wanting, so my Beatles collection right there, the album set, they're wanting $500 for that, used. The EP collection was $350. And then the singles collection, which I don't have, but I just did a trade for, I'm waiting on it to get to me, was $300. Used. The boxes were very used looking. And yeah, there was a lot of wear and tear there, and it's just crazy. Here's a souvenir of their visit to America. The Beatles on VJ has Misery, Taste of Honey, Ask Me Why, and Anna. 4 songs I love to death. And this is March 23rd of 64. And it looks like this, pretty much a near minter, as they would say. So yeah, there was some really crazy pricing on stuff. They had another singles box, had 3 singles in it. One of the 3 was missing. It had a cool little Apple 45 adapter I like to have, but they wanted $35 for it, and a single was missing. There was only 3 singles, period, in this box. EP of 4 by the Beatles, We're Over Beethoven, This Boy, All My Lovin', and Please Mr. Postman. And there is a second version of it that does not have, or that has records underneath the capital there. And I don't have it. I did have it, but I traded it for something else. Because the first release one is that one. That was the second release one. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll trade. Sometimes I do that. All right, there we have the George Martin and his orchestra performing music from A Hard Day's Night, in particular, and I Love Her, and Ringo's theme, This Boy. And that's the cover for that. And this is the first pressing from September 5th of 64. And it is on the United Artists labels. United Artists. That's the artists. It is United Artists label. There you go. And I've listened to it once and I'm good. Not an instrumental guy. I'm just not an instrumental guy. But if you are, I highly recommend any of the Beatles instrumental stuff. This one a friend gave me. He didn't have the sleeve for it. He said his dad owned a jukebox, but he threw all the sleeves away and he would just keep his singles without the sleeves and whatever. But this is from February 65. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the cover for it. It's a bit worn. It contains Honey Don't and I'm a Loser. On this side contains Mr. Moonlight and Everybody Wants to Be My Baby. I love that song. Everybody wants to be my baby. Everybody wants to be my baby. What? Stop singing? Okay, sorry. And that brings us up to where we left off in the video before. La France, the Beatles. So we are caught up on singles. This video went surprisingly well. I don't know why the other attempts went so bad. A couple because medication was messing with me that I was on for this surgery that I'm still getting over. And the other ones, I don't know. Sometimes they come out good, sometimes they don't. I'll look back, watch a little bit and say, I'd watch that, and then I move on. So I'm my own worst critic. Alright, so if you like this video, and I hope you did, thumbs up. Subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll know when I do all a new video. So that's kind of cool. That's a perk. That's a perk. Also, if you subscribe, the other perk is you'll know when I put a new video up. That's the perks. That's all you're getting, kids. That's all I got for you. But I appreciate you stopping by, checking it out for me today, especially since this one went a little too well. But we're going to put her in a can and release her here soon. And again, if you liked it, thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the video. Comments. I love comments. Bring them on. Unless you're that one guy who still does not like me because I got something wrong on an album that I reviewed. Michael Stanley Band. And I'm not going to say nothing else. I don't want to get nobody upset. But, man, I really butchered that somehow. I'm not the biggest. I'm not Wikipedia. And I'm not the world, gold mine price guy. I'm just Jack. You know, and most of the stuff I remember from my childhood, from listening so much. You know, our info came from records when I was a kid because you didn't have your phone to look at while you're doing that, and you didn't have whatever else to look at. You had the record cover itself. So you were playing the music and you're just sitting there staring at the turntable, or you're reading the fun fact info that's on the record cover and the inside sleeve. And that's where our information came from. As we got a little bit older, we learned a little bit more from DJs on radios. And then eventually down the road, as we become older men, time marches on. We learned some stuff from Discogs and other books and stuff. So that's pretty much where my info comes from. So I appreciate you guys coming in, checking it out today. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Till then, sprinkle a little love on the world, because there is no way at all near enough love in the world today. And do one good deed for someone today. Doesn't matter what it is. Say, hi, I hope you have a good day. I love your hair. Buy them a coffee, give them $1. Introduce them to the Beatles. That would be one of the best things you could do, is introduce them to the Beatles if they're not already introduced to it. And I'm surprised that some of the people come across and go, yeah, I don't listen. I really don't know what their music's about. Kind of shocking for a band that was so big and changed the world. For somebody to go, I really don't know what their music's about. Very weird. Maybe they should watch my channel. Maybe I'll suggest it next time. Maybe I won't. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy any videos I do going forward, because it's all about going forward. And if you get bored going forward in time, you can go back and check out some of my older videos. Hopefully you will enjoy those. So until next time, which hopefully will be here pretty soon, as I have nothing to do for another 3 weeks, I believe. I'm going to check out some record stores today, and I'll report back if there's something reportable. Otherwise, you probably won't even know I've been there and gone. Sometimes they don't know that. They're like, hey, and the next time I go in, they're like, what happened to you last time? You're like, I didn't see you were gone. I look, I go. So that's the way it works. All right, thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic beetly day, and I will see you guys later. I'm going to do this by hand because apparently I cannot trust Google to help me do anything anymore. Take care.